Hello, my name is Michael Mahoney. Are you a hypnotherapist in practice, or a hypnotherapist about to come out of training? Do you want to know more about IBS and how to manage, and how to help your patients to manage the IBS symptoms and the frequency of presentation, not only to reduce them, but in many cases to eliminate them altogether? I've been in practice since 1986. Since 1991, I've been helping IBS patients. And since 2000, I've been working with hypnotherapists in one-day workshops to help them to fully grasp IBS, what it is, what it isn't, and help to give that information to patients or clients, depending where you get them from. Do you know what IBS is and who gets it and why they get it? Do you know who gets it and where and how it's managed? I'll just move myself out of my own way. Do you know the IBS variants and how to explain them to your clients? This workshop will help you to do that. At the initial consultation, do you know how to explain IBS to patients? Do you know the questions to ask, the things to say? The initial consultation is a rapport building exercise. If we don't get that right, we're not going to be successful. Are you familiar with that equation? If not, it's something that you will find out on the workshop. Do you know the importance of this triangle? And do you know how to explain the energy levels that people have, how they diminish, and how to restore them? Because many of the patients that come to see me, they don't have the emotional energy to get well. And if you think about that, they don't have the emotional energy to get well. So this is a key place where we start. We can't keep asking people to expend energy that they don't have. So we have a structured approach, step by step. And there are 3 stages of healing. The first stage is a stake in the ground. This is as bad as it gets. The second stage is working through and treading the path through to change. And the third step is like the little bird on the nest, just about to jump. It's got all it needs. It just needs the belief. And us as therapists, it's part of our job to instill belief. So let's change IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, to IBS, instill belief system. We know what we believe can affect the way that our bodies respond. We need to tap into that. There are 5 things we need for a successful outcome. Are you aware of what they are? There are 3 things that go against us initially. They need to be resolved. And what you'll learn if you come on the workshop is there are 5 sessions. But within each session, there is many steps. We need to know how to explain those steps to our clients and to our patients. And the reasoning for the structure. We have to have a structure that often emulates the way that we learn as human beings. It's something that you will learn on the workshop. And when doubts arise and setbacks happen, what then? Do you know how to work with your clients when they start to go downhill again? It's all natural. What about when they plateau? It's natural. It's part of the learning process. And what we need to do is we need to find a way, and it's a way I can show you, to disrupt the expectations of the thought patterns that IBS patients and clients often present with. They run their own pattern so often, and it's quite understandable. It's called being human, but we need to change the expectation, and the outcomes will follow. The 5 stages of learning are quite critical, particularly in the recovery stage. Your clients need to know what that is and what those steps are. And onion thinking. We have to peel away the onion of thought, all the layers that have been building up over many, many years often. IBS patients and clients need help pulling away and starting to get to the nub of the problem again. If we think about a problem and it continues to grow, then each time we think about it, we wrap another layer around. And that layer makes the initial problem bigger. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until the emotional energy that you saw earlier has actually all drained. We need to do something about it. Often I hear, IBS has ruined my life. It's understandable that people with any problem often feel that it's ruined their life. But we need to drill down into that a little bit. I ask my clients, what's that? Well, it's a straight line. Well, it is a straight line, but it's more than that. It's life. We see this line on our tombstones as we walk through reading epitaphs, perhaps, as I enjoy doing. Born is one day, die is one day. That line in between represents life. And patients often say their life's been ruined with IBS. So we need to just have a look at that a little bit deeper. So they often tell us that IBS has ruined their life. So we drill down into that a little bit more. Each one of those lines represents a year. On average, 70 years of life. But in just one of those lines, there are many others. In each year, there's 365 days. So how many of these days has been ruined? If we drill down and speak to the client and say, exactly, when did you start with IBS and where are you up to now? Well, that's 20 years, 5 years, 2 years, 1 year. It hasn't ruined their life. And we need to explain to the client that that's the case. And there's much more they can do to help themselves. We need to explain and deal with shadow fears. Shadow fears are all important and actually hold people back. They're the anchor rather than a propeller. Mind armies. This is really important for clients to understand. There's an old mindset of IBS, and we as therapists introduce a new mindset. And in the beginning, there's turmoil, a little bit of chaos. And other things. We can talk about the past, the present, and the future. We need to explain that each moment is an end and a new beginning. We need to explain orbits of thought and how they can change the way they think. They need to learn how to take a day off from getting better. Because getting better for many of our clients is a full-time job. In any full-time job, we have holidays, we take time off. And then we'll get clients who have problems that are deep-rooted. They have issues they've never spoken about. And very often they're really hesitant to tell us the truth. And the problem is, us as therapists, if we don't get all the pieces of the jigsaw in place, the picture that the client wants us to help them get to, we can't see it. They can't see it. So we need to get information from our clients in a way that's gentle and in a way that they find trusting. Often people think when they're getting better that something is wrong. Well, unfamiliarity isn't wrong. Unfamiliarity is just unfamiliarity. And clients often say, I can't get out the door. I can't go to work. I can't go socializing. What would be your reply to that? There is one word that changes the way that people think so radically. Often people will say, I never saw this coming. Well, we hear that when we talk with people about burnout, about anxiety, about stress. They never saw it coming. But there's an explanation of why. And it's about being human. So we need to disrupt the expectations and the thought patterns. And building confidence builds bridges. Structure brings confidence. And what we do is we create a structure, and the structure helps to deal with the emotional aspects, the physical aspects of IBS, the release of them, the instilling of belief, and applying the new learnings that we teach them to do. We can get success. And I've seen it time and time again since 1998. And before I released the IBS program from 1991 to today's date in 2026. I'm still seeing IBS patients after all those years. And there isn't an easy answer. The medical profession don't have an answer to IBS yet. They used to think particular ways when I first started working with IBS. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's something else. And then something else will come along and there's more research. But there's very rare is there any benefits for clients. So the researchers and the doctors, the consultants, they're as frustrated very often as IBS patients. I worked in a medical practice for a long time, over 23 years with GPs and getting referrals from consultants. They get as frustrated with IBS as their patients. And one of the things that we can do to help the medical profession is to take IBS patients from them, give them a different way of thinking and learning. And it doesn't have to be a long time. And we can get paid for it. So that's a double bonus. So if you want to know more, contact me through healthyaudiohypnosis.com, and I'll be pleased to answer any questions you might have. I look forward to hearing from you. Bye for now.